What is up, everybody? J Nell here with my UFC 234 recap video. It happened last night. I made 5 predictions, but as we know, the main event did not happen. So real quick, the main event, I chose Robert Whitaker to beat Kelvin Gastelum. The champ had to pull out the middleweight champ, that is, due to emergency surgery for a hernia. And the doctor said had he had got one good punch to the body, to the liver, he could have died. So this wasn't he couldn't make a weight cut. But this, unfortunately, is the second time he had to pull out of a fight, a main event in his hometown, in his neck of the woods. So sad, but someone let me know the updates on the middleweight champ, Mr. Robert Whitaker. Now, so the co-main event was pushed up to the main event, and one of the prelims was actually pushed up to the co-main event. I did not make a pick on that. So only 4 of my 5 picks counted, and out of those 4, I got 3. So I missed one. Good night for me. Let's get into it. All right. Next, first up, my pick I did not get. I chose Sam Alvey to beat Jimmy Crute. He did not. I have to admit, like I said in the video, I did not know much about Mr. Crute. He is nice and big and strong and long. He starts quick. He was quick. He was first in this fight. They were going back and forth. Sam was kind of slow to get started. It seems like he was trying to fill him out a bit, whereas the youngster got on him quick. He actually landed a hell of a shot, which dropped Sam Alvey. He walked away thinking that he'd knocked off. He even said it afterwards. He's like, I thought I had a walk-off knockout. You did not. Sam Alvey got back up. He had to go back over there, clocked him a few more times, got him on his ground. Got him on the ground. Sam Alvey's on all 4s. At one point, he's on his stomach. He's covering up. He's on his side. He's covering up. He's scrambling a bit. He gets knocked silly a couple more times, and the ref stops the fight. Now, he protested, saying that Mark Goddard has stopped his fights early before. He thought this was another early fight. This was kind of early. Not like I felt with the T.J. Dillashaw or Henry Cejudo T.J. Dillashaw fight, where T.J. Dillashaw was really scrambling. He was moving quickly. His head was moving quickly. His eyes were still fully open. That's not how I felt with the Sam Alvey one. It could have gone on a couple more punches, but to me, he was a bit more sluggish. He was in the fetal position, covering up without actually trying to improve his position a little bit longer. So for me, I'm okay with the decision. You are with the stoppage. You let me know if you're okay with the stoppage and who should be next for Mr. Jimmy Crute. Now, next up, I got this pick as well. I got the rest of them, so we're just going to go ahead and talk about them. I got the rest of them. Okay. So I got Miss Montana Delarosa to beat Nadia Kassem. Kassem. I was saying it wrong, excuse me. And she did in the second round. But she basically dominated this whole fight. She was able to take her down, not necessarily ground and pound, but just get herself to have the dominant position. She was trying to get to the best submission move, or she was trying to get to full mount, and in between trying to get to those good positions, she was mounting enough offense not to get stood back up. So she won the first round, was winning the second round, and I liked the way she got this submission. She just kept going from armbar to triangle choke, to armbar to triangle choke. Now she's on top of the triangle choke, but she's actually on top. Now she's on the bottom with the triangle choke next to an armbar, and eventually she had the belly down armbar, and the girl verbally tapped. She worked it until she got it, and the girl was very flexible. Nadia was very flexible, so I like the way that her persistence, I like the way she got this win. This is the flyweight division, and I think she's got like 3 fights in a row, something like that now. So who do you think should be next for Montana Delarosa? Next up, I got this pick again. I chose Ricky Simone. I said Simon. Ricky Simone to beat Ronnie Yaya, and he did. This was a 3-round unanimous decision, and he basically had more. He was first, higher offensive output. He would not play Ronnie's game and get down in his guard. He kept knocking him down and standing back up. He was like, come on, man, get up. I ain't going down there. So at one point, Ronnie, I believe it was in the later half of the fight, either the last part of the second round or the third round, he actually clipped him real good, actually, and mounted on a little offense, had to come, was raining down some shots, clipped him from one side of the octagon to the other side of the octagon, and even then, to disrupt it, Ricky just kind of did like a shoulder shove, like, he like just kind of collision, ran into him to disrupt his momentum and knock Ronnie down, and then backed up. I thought that was a good way to break up that momentum. But it was a good win for Ricky Simone. He has a lot of energy. He's kind of one of those dude bros, but not in a douchebag way, in a good way. So I kind of like that. Who would you like to see him fight next? Now, the new co-main event was Lando Venata versus Marcus Mariano, I believe. This ended in the first round for Lando Venata. He was able to get him down and to get a Kimura lock. It's a nice, nasty little Kimura tap, tap. Good win for Lando Venata. Who would you like to see him fight next? Again, I did not make a pick on that one. Now, main event, and I got this pick. I chose the style bender, Mr. Israel Adesanya. We're saying it wrong, is all I'm trying to say, and I had it. I was practicing it. It's not Adesanya. If you listen to the way he says his name, it's not Adesanya. It's Adesanya. Adesanya. Adesanya, I believe is what it is. We're saying it wrong. I'm going to have to get it right. Anyway, he got the win against the living legend, Mr. Anderson, the Spider Silva. This was a 3-round decision in his favor. 3 rounds instead of 5 because that's what they were contracted for, because this was originally a co-main event. So let's get into it. This is a very exciting fight. This was not Silva's clone, but very exciting, very dynamic, very devastatingly talented, wide diversity in his striking. All of that is true, but in slightly different ways than Anderson Silva. This was a stand-up fight. No one went to the ground. I think one of the main things that stuck out for me is that Israel has a much higher offensive output than Anderson does. We saw that in the first round. He just, Anderson has a high accuracy. I can't speak today. What is wrong? But very low offensive output. And now that he's getting older, he's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as explosive as he used to be. So he's not as accurate as he used to be. He needs to get that offensive output up. So that's the biggest thing that I noticed, is that Israel's offensive output is much, much higher than Anderson's ever was. He also switches stance a lot more. There's more spinning techniques. He strings his together movements within the transitions a bit better. Anderson Silva had him thinking a bit. You can tell that Israel has been watching him, a lot of the tricks and things that Anderson does. He just was like, nope, I'm gonna wait. Nope, I'm not going against the cage. Nope. I was like, no, don't do it. Nope. So there was a lot of that happening there. Anderson had his moments. In fact, you can make a case that he won the second round. By the way, at the end of the first round, there was some showboating on both ends. Anderson putting his hands down and letting him hit him a little bit. Israel went for a spinning kick that barely missed at the end of the round. He was like, psh, and went to one of his little patented poses. So it was a lot of personality in this fight, a lot of respect in this fight from Israel. Even though I know he said he wanted to take out his idol, he did not. There was actually a moment the second time that Anderson in the third round had his hands down and let Israel get off like a 3-piece on him, where Israel could have kept going, but instead he stood back and said, put your hands up. And even when he had Anderson in the corner, he could have just threw some feints and he could have picked him apart in that corner. But he said, come on out here. So there was just in the moment, I think Israel couldn't bring himself to like destroy Anderson Silva. He just won the fight, and he clearly won. Like I said, you can make a case for Anderson in that second round, but that's it. Israel again outworked him in that third round, very dynamic with the spinning kicks. He even tried to go off the cage at one point. Again, lots of personality. It was a fun fight, great main event. Even Anderson had some spinning kicks and some things. He tried to go blow for Israel, and doing his patented old man tricks now, trying to disguise what he's going to do next. And the crowd loved it. They were chanting his name at one point. They loved it. Again, fun fight, full of personality. Good win for Israel Adesanya. I know at the end he kind of said he wanted to knock him out, but I think in the midst of the fight, he couldn't bring himself to go for that kill shot, because there was moments there. There was moments. So who would you like to see Israel Adesanya? Israel A, until I get it right. Who would you like to see him fight next? He thinks he jumps Kelvin Gastelum. I do not think so. I think it's as long as Robert Whittaker can fight before June, because then it'll be a year since he's been out. As long as he can fight before then, he should not be stripped. I don't think Robert should be stripped. Go ahead and make the fight with Kelvin Gastelum and have Israel fight someone else, maybe Jacare. I like that pick. Let me know what you think should go on in the middleweight division with Robert having this emergency surgery. They said 6 to 12 weeks, so let me know what you think should happen. Should he be stripped? Should there be an interim belt? Should Kelvin just wait? Should it be Israel? Should he jump in front of Kelvin? Let me know what you think should go on in this middleweight division, because now we have a little bit of a conundrum. All right, so let me know how you did on your picks, any injury updates, especially on the champ, Mr. Robert Whittaker, and follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where we'll have 15-second predictions and recaps and all of that. I'm on Snapchat now. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.